All right. Are we live? Seem to have one viewer, which is probably me. All right, welcome everybody to another live stream. Today is just part 2 of where I left off last live stream, which was my Macintosh 2 repair attempt. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be finishing what we started in the last stream, which was trying to fix this thing. Well, not fix it. I'll explain in just a moment. But in the last stream, I'm going to have to watch the stream later. That's fine. But anyway, so in the last stream, what happened was I tried to solder in these new PRAM batteries into this Macintosh 2 I have over here to the left or something. But yeah, because the reason is because the Macintosh 2 is required to boot up with, it needs working PRAM batteries to be able to boot up. But so it won't actually work if the PRAM batteries don't work. So last stream, we were trying to boot it up. We were trying to solder in the batteries and it failed because my soldering iron was crap and I wasn't prepared. But this time we are prepared. So what I have here is my new soldering station. This, I call it the Rolls Royce of soldering stations. It's got all the bells and whistles that you'd ever want. It's got a soldering iron, heat controls, a hot air station, which I might use later. It shows you the temperature. It's got switches and knobs and a handle and stuff. It's the best thing that I've ever received so far. And it's definitely a huge upgrade from what I have here, which is crap. And also, if you're wondering why the stream quality is so good, I also got a new webcam, which is really lovely. So now streams won't look like crap and they won't sound like crap. So yeah. Anyway, so what we're going to be doing today is we're just going to be trying to install these batteries into the computer. So I have 2 of them, and it takes 2 of them, and this is one of the batteries. It's a half height 3.5 volt AA battery, I believe. I think that's what it's called, but yeah, 1/2 AA battery. And I didn't want to spoil this, but the computer actually is working. I found a way to jumpstart it with this janky device, which it's just basically one of these batteries with just wires sticking out of it. And we don't seem to have that many viewers, unfortunately, tonight because a lot of other people decided to stream. So I'm going to see if I can get some people's attention real quick. Guess not then. Yeah, anyway, let's actually get to the point. So we're going to have to take this Mac 2 apart. I have it over here because there's not enough space in this area over here. But I can turn the camera so you guys can look because I was able to mount this webcam on a tripod, which is very nice. But anyway, the easy thing about this is that you don't really need that much education to be able to open up one of these. So opening them up is pretty easy. And one difficult part is getting this top cover off because you don't want to break it because it's very common. I'm trying not to break mine. But oh, cool. We got Jacksepticeye in here, Apple Geek. Can't watch most of the stream, sad. That's unfortunate. It's probably not going to be too entertaining. Well, it probably will be, but it depends. But whatever. And yeah, it got it off without breaking anything, thankfully. But yeah, careful of that crack on the front. Yeah, that crack was from shipping damage. I glued it back but I guess the glue came undone or something. But yeah, that crack's really annoying. Very unfortunate, but yeah. So in here, I actually reassembled this after the previous stream, like during the time of the previous stream to this stream, because the thing does actually work, as I mentioned before, and I was able to jumpstart it with this weird battery arrangement, which is just this thing. So yeah, that's all we got. That's all I really have to say about that. So I'm just gonna take it apart for now, and then we're gonna actually get to the point. And we got 6 viewers now. We got David, hello David, and we got the dude with the 101, and Londo's hair. Try epoxy, but the stress from opening the case will always exploit the weak area from now on. Yeah, that's a good point. I tried super glue, Gorilla Glue, which doesn't really hold too well on stuff like this, I guess. But I'll try epoxy in a bit. I might have some spare epoxy from another project. But yeah, there aren't really that many screws in this because I knew I was going to take this apart again anyway, so everything really just lifts out. Yeah, but now I can go over a few components once I get them out. But yeah, this whole thing here, this is just the bracket with the drives. You got the floppy drives, and you also have the monstrous original hard drive that came with this thing. This is like a 5-inch Quantum 240. This thing is epic, and it works, thankfully, which is really relieving and also epic because it works and it's super loud. So if we do get this thing working later, well, the computer working, I can actually show you how hilarious this thing can be. But that's all there is really to say about that. Yeah. So not that you give a shit, but I just got a lot of untested small boy Aqua Model 91s. Oh, that's interesting. You can tell me about that later on Discord. Does the hard drive work? Yes, the hard drive does work, thankfully, which is really cool. I'll show it to you guys later if we do get this thing working. Well, the computer working. Ugh. Anyway, moving on. Now all we really have to do is just take out this new bus card. This is a original video card that this computer came with when I bought it. It has 2 of them. This was one of them. The other one doesn't seem to be working properly. This one does work, so I'm using only this one at the moment. And then we also have to unplug the speaker. Yeah, but anyway, we're just gonna unplug the speaker, unplug the power supply unit. I'm not gonna really, you guys probably can't see this, so I'm just really telling you guys what's going on. So, hold on. So on the inside of the logic board, where the logic board is, there's a bunch of plastic tabs that you have to undo to be able to get the board out of the computer. And it's kind of scary, but also annoying because you don't want the tabs to break. But it's also annoying because they're pretty stiff sometimes. Then they're also not stiff sometimes, which is irritating. You sort of have to do them in a special order, otherwise they won't do it. And yep, there's the board. All right, so now that we have this large mega board over here, let's actually take a closer look at this. All right, so surveying the board, we're not going to pay attention to anything else. One thing I do want to note is that this is one of the first ever Mac 2 revisions, which is very nice because all the capacitors on here aren't electrolytic surface mount caps. So so the chances of these leaking are very slim to none, and they're also super easy to replace even if they do leak, which is very lovely. So you probably won't be seeing a recap of this thing ever. But also, so if you go over here, this is another problem with the early revision boards. Well, not a problem. Well, I mean, this is a problem. The other thing wasn't a problem, but this is a problem with these boards as well. They have soldered on PRAM batteries so that when they die, they don't work. Oh yeah, so the repair is basically what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and solder in these PRAM batteries to where the old ones once were, because this is an early revision board that has the PRAM battery soldered in it, a lot like an early Mac SE and a few other things, because I don't know why they didn't put the holders. They probably didn't exist or something, but the holder ones are a lot easier, but then they also have the cap issues and other stuff. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. And the reason why I kind of waited on this is because of the new soldering station. So I'm fairly confident of doing this now. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to remove all the excess solder that's inside these holes to be able to fit these in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to solder some wires onto these little holders that I have over here. These are PRAM battery holders, and in the last stream, I tried putting them in just as is like this, but unfortunately, they don't actually fit, which is very unfortunate. So we'll have to put some wires on this. And somebody actually suggested that I get a battery holder for 2 AA batteries and just soldering that on. And I checked if the hardware store had them, but they didn't. So I just decided I'm gonna salvage some wire. Yeah, they hadn't started using the plastic battery holders yet at this point. Yep, that's true. So anyway, now we're gonna actually get to this thing, which I haven't actually used yet. I've tried it out with just melting solder and some other stupid stuff, and it actually works really well. It heats up very quickly, so we won't have to wait for it. And it works really nicely. And it's got these 2 nice displays. The design is very nice and industrial. I just really like it. So that's what we're going to be using for the stream. So I'm going to use some solder wick to just get the solder out of the holes. So I'm going to just try and position the camera so that it looks nicer. So yeah, that looks good. And yeah. So far, we only have 3 viewers. I don't know what happened to the other 3, but I guess they left. Unfortunately, Greg Harukte's stream is happening at 8, so I'm kind of interfering with his stream, and he's kind of interfering with mine. And I believe Steve from Mac84 is also streaming at the moment, which is also kind of annoying, but it's not my fault. I mean, it is kind of my fault, but because I wanted to do this originally on Wednesday, but is that hot air / solder station the one that Jay recommended? Steve ended the stream. Okay, that's important. Yeah, this is not actually the one that Jay recommended. The one that Jay recommended didn't have very. I mean, I didn't really like it that much. I seem to like this one a lot more. It looked a lot nicer, so I just got this one instead. It was also slightly cheaper. So yeah. But otherwise, they're basically the same thing. Anyway, we're going to actually start this thing up now. So it has 2 switches for soldering and hot air. So I'll turn on the switches of the soldering one. And here you can actually adjust the temperature, as you can see here. I'm not sure what temperature to adjust it at. I'm going to do it at like 150 or something. And already it's I think it's already hot, which is really cool. Or no, now the heat is going down because I put it down, but yeah, because I think 100 that degree, I'll put it at like 200. Why not? 200 seems fair. But yeah, that should be good. Yeah, so I would try to zoom in the camera, but I'm not really sure how, and I don't think it's possible unless you have like OBS or something. And I wasn't smart enough to set it up in time. So yeah, that's what we're just gonna be doing. Oh yeah, I did also want to mention that this is the iron, and it does actually have adjustable tips. For example, there's a very thin one, there's a very thick one, there's like a slab one, it's like a screwdriver. This is the one I decided to use. This is just a regular one. I haven't actually tried this out yet, so I don't know how it works. So let's try it out. Just gonna put this through here, just try to melt it up. Yeah, it's already hot, I see. Well, look, iron claims it is. I think this is working. I think what I want to try and doing is just trying to thread the cables through the hole quickly first. So I think we'll just pay attention to these for a moment. Only 3 viewers. Oh, 4 viewers now, thankfully. I was hoping I'd get more viewers tonight, but I guess not. Must have been a big problem. Hello, Windows Millennium. Fancy seeing you here. Thank you for joining in. The stream's kind of dead, but thankfully we are slowly gaining members, which is pretty nice. What we're doing right now is we're just continuing the Mac 2 repair project I did in the other stream. So that's what we're doing right now. And right now I'm just trying to prepare these cables and put them in these holes here to put so I can connect them to the battery holders I have over here. So that's all we're really doing right now. I assume that people will probably leave when Greg's stream starts because he's doing a giveaway, and I bet everyone's excited about that. So yeah, but anyway, what can I do? Not really much, but what is the problem on this Mac? So there isn't really a problem. The Mac works fine. This is a Macintosh 2, by the way, an original Macintosh 2. And one annoying thing about these models is that they require 2 PRAM batteries to boot up. Well, it requires only 1, but I'm going to put in 2. And the thing is that I bought these holders and the batteries on the internet or on DigiKey, and I was trying to solder them in the last stream, and I failed because these holders didn't work, and I had a crappy soldering iron. So I have a new soldering iron. I have a new everything. So, and I've also decided just to use cables instead. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm just gonna start. I'm starting off by just soldering these cables onto the board. This isn't going to be an elegant job, but it's estimated to work, which is good enough for me. I mean, as long as it works, it's fine, which is nice. So I'm just currently just stripping the ends of these cables, which I maybe should have done off stream because it's probably going to be boring, but I'm not really good at preparing things. So yeah, and I didn't expect to do the stream today. This iron was supposed to come on Wednesday, but then at the end it came today, so that's why I'm doing this today. So I'm almost done with the stripping. Oh, just cut my finger, I think. Yeah. And yeah, that's finished. Alrighty, so I'm finished with that. So what I'm going to do now is I think I'll actually just solder them onto the holders first, and then solder the holders onto the computer. So those are the red ones, and these are the black ones. So I'll just separate those quickly because they have like mixed colors, but they have a bit more color than the other. So that's how you tell which one's which. This is one of the holders. I have 2 of them, and it's positive that side, negative that side. So one thing you want to do when soldering wires is you want to make sure to twist the ends of the cables like this to make sure that, because there's like a bunch of really thin individual strands in there, and you don't want them to get all messed up and stuff. So that's why you do that. I really hope it will work. Yeah, me too. There is actually a way to boot it up without this whole procedure. Yeah, I've actually done it with this monstrosity here. It's basically just a battery with these legs sticking out of it, and what happens, you have to like jump it by like connecting 2 terminals together or something, and it does work, but the only issue is you have to do it every time you want to boot up the system. It's not permanent. This, however, is permanent, which is good. So that's why I'm trying to do that. So at the moment, I'm just doing some of the simple, dumb, boring stuff, and yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'm done with that. So I think something else I should have bought was one of those helping hand contraptions as well, because they're basically like these. It's like this base with a bunch of arms coming out of it, and what it does is it holds your cables and stuff. And most things you do in soldering requires having a lot of hands. So yeah, I think I'll actually have to get my block of wood for this. So I have this wood sheet that I use for soldering. I don't like to solder openly on this a foam material because it likes to melt in hot circumstances. So that's what I will do. I'll just put everything on here real quick. Alrighty. Yeah. Alright, so we're actually going to get to some of the soldering now. So I got the iron. So the first thing you want to do when soldering a wire to a wire is you want to make sure to cover the wire in solder. So by doing this, what you want to do is you want to just get the solder, and then just cover the end of the wire with the solder like this. And the reason why you want to do this is because you don't have to add extra solder when you're actually connecting it, because it's really annoying to have to do that. With this, it's just already prepared. I'm going to see if I can try it, because it keeps moving, so how small it is. But I hope you guys can hear me fine. Let's put it like this then. There we go. Yeah, I think I'll actually make this a bit hotter. It isn't really heating up that much. But yeah, there you go. Seems to be connecting on there pretty well. Yeah, that worked. Excellent. So this is what it's going to look like now. It's not supposed to have like that piece like coming off of it that much, but you get the idea. Really hope it'll work. I'm back. That's great. Yep, audio is good. That's good enough. Because I have this, because I'm actually in the boiler room and the water heater in the background likes to make a whole lot of obnoxious noises. So that's why you're hearing that background noise. I mean, it's better than the fan noise of my old computer that I used to use for streams. I mean, that was really obnoxious. But now that I have this new webcam, I can use it with my other computer. But yeah. If you guys want, you can ask me questions about about my videos, or like what things I plan on doing next, or just basic Mac questions if you guys want. So this can be a whole Q&A if you get as well. So just let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. So, and I'll be looking in the chat pretty frequently during the stream. So yeah, let me know. Otherwise, I don't really have too much to talk about. No, I'm just not a Mac question. What do you think about Windows? Windows, actually, regarding Windows, I'm actually using a Windows computer right now. So, I mean, in terms of Windows, Windows is fine. I use it daily. It's a bit better than modern Mac computers, in my opinion. I mean, this Dell I have here is amazing so far. How much did you buy your Macintosh 2 for? I bought it for like $100 or so. I don't remember what it was with shipping, but it was pretty decent. It was better than a working one, because working ones are overpriced, or one of those broken ones that go for like $300, which is overpriced as well. So this one was a decent enough deal, and it basically works. So an even better deal. I seem to have really good luck with broken Macs. For some reason, I don't know why, but it's just a thing that I have, which is really nice. I've had a lot of cases where I bought a broken Mac and I was easily able to get it working. So yeah, that's nice, I guess. I guess I had a lot of luck doing it like this. And we're now on the last wire, so this boring part is about to end. And last wire. So far, the soldering station is really nice. I like how it heats up very quickly. My other one took forever to heat up, and I don't even think it heated up half the way anyway. So, yeah. Seems to have a bit of trouble sticking on, and yeah, I'd call that done. I hate Windows. Mac are better. I mean, in my opinion, older Macs are better, and some of the newer Macs are okay. Mac OS itself is pretty nice as well, but unfortunately, most of Apple's modern computers are pretty bad, and they're also very expensive. This Dell I have here is really nice. It's powerful, and it's just what I was looking for. So I'm very happy with my purchase. I'm kind of a Mac question. What do you think about odd Apple products, Pippin, Newton, etc.? I have a Newton message pad, 120, that I can show you guys later if I finish early, if I finish the repair early. It's a pretty cool, neat thing. I have quite a few odd Mac accessories. For example, I have a Duo dock. I have a portrait display. I really like the odd Mac. I like the odd Mac accessories and just Apple things in general. I don't actually have a Pippin, which is the Apple game console. I don't really have too much of an interest in it, but if I do ever find one for cheap, or if I do ever have an interest in it, I'll probably get one. So, very interesting system, by the way. If I do get one, I'll definitely make a video on it and show it to you guys. Come on. Stick. Yeah, that works. So now I'm just making sure to put the wires on the thing. So also I used to be an Apple loyalist, but now I kind of like Microsoft better. For me, it depends on what product Microsoft makes. One of the main reasons I chose Windows is because I have a couple games that I like to play that are on Windows only. I mean, Macs are not very good for gaming, and they aren't really that good with gaming either. The Dell I have is very good for gaming. Microsoft's computers, however, like the Surface line, that's garbage. Probably some of the worst I've ever seen. And Greg's stream is actually starting right now. I might even just pause the stream to watch his stream for a bit. Oh, yep, now it just went on. Oof. Oof. Okay. His stream is going on right now in the background. Oh, I don't know. I kind of like the Surface products. For me, it depends. I daily drove a Surface product for a bit of time, and I kind of hated it. It was very inconvenient. It had like one USB port, and it was very disappointing to use. I was expecting better from them at least, but I don't know. It's okay for if you're someone else, but if you're me and you need like a lot of power and a lot of I/O and stuff, then Surface isn't really a good thing for me anyway. Ah, crap. Yeah, it really depends on who you are. That is true. It's really annoying. Crap, it will not stick. Okay, that should be straightened up. Having trouble with this wire at the moment. It's not really sticking on. It should just add some more solder to it real quick. Yeah, that should work now. Move that out of the way. Let me put the temperature up a bit. Maybe that'll change. I want to just check in on Greg's stream. I might not respond to the chat for a bit. Ah, crap. Oh, yeah.
So Ken should be on in a second. We're waiting for you.
Damn it. This is annoying me. Maybe I'll try just adding solder to this.
Ken is the only reason I found out about the giveaway at this channel. Well, that's awesome to hear, Ken. No, it's not too late to enter. You have until 8 o'clock, so don't enter. In fact, you have until I draw. So just go to the video.
Yes, finally. That works.
I don't know what's up the Mac yet. Just spoke to the one bit, so.
I used to have a Macintosh SE, but then I sold it for like $25. I regret it. Yeah, I used to have a Macintosh SE and a Macintosh Plus. Well, the Macintosh Plus was oh, damn it. I used to have a Macintosh Plus and a dual drive Macintosh SE. I have a Super Drive SE with me still, but I had two SEs and two Pluses. I sold the two Pluses and one of the SEs. And I sold one of the Pluses for very cheap, which I regret. I wish I sold it for more. But the only reason why I sold the Pluses, they worked fine, but I only sold them because accessories for Pluses are extremely expensive and usually more than the computer. So I just decided that if I ever want a Plus again, I'll probably just buy a Plus with the accessories because it's a lot easier. 30 for 3 01s. Interesting. Yeah, I get one for only 20 euros. That's a pretty good deal, I'd say. At least it's better than nothing. I'm sorry, I keep tuning into Greg's stream because he's announcing the giveaway winners. So, yeah, 1 minute. Excellent. I probably won't win, but I'm just taking a look. Once he announces the winner, probably just go to my. Let's go back to this. Now he's scolding his dog. Fun.
Come in here so I can see you.
Excellent. It works. This one.
You know, I know you're in trouble with it. Now.
Iron is pretty good.
All right. All right.
Damn
so it is 8 o'clock, so the stream starts right now. The giveaway is live.
All right, he's announcing the winners
So we're
now.
giving away this early 2008 MacBook. We've got 36 years lost to. It's nice. Anyway, so I've got
Damn
the
it.
MacBook sitting right next to me, and it is ready to choose a winner. So, what's up?
This wire's starting to get a bit hot
So
from
I've got the
the
MacBook
iron.
over here ready to choose the winner.
God damn it. Hold on, I gotta clear this end of this quickly. It's getting kind of full and gross. Ugh. Yeah, it's not very good.
So anyway.
Sorry for the bad stream. This was very bad timing. So,
there is one problem with it since the update video I did on it, which I want to disclose with you because I don't know how we're going to fix it. And it's going
yep, that's done. All right, so the battery holders are done. So now they are ready for the actual soldering. I had a Macintosh portable and I tried to put a modern laptop in it, but I ended up breaking the laptop and the Mac portable. That's a bit unfortunate. I've thought about putting a modern components in an older system, but I always think that the older system is a bit better and more interesting than just a modern system. And also, I don't want to waste I also don't want to waste the old system if the whole thing fails, and I don't want to damage it either, or just working components in general. So I've just decided against it for now, but I might do it one day if I decide to. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Greg is about to. Yes,
Literally, as I finished filming the update video and closed it, it chipped again in the same spot. I did find the pieces, but I don't know if I can get it this time.
All right. Anyway, so now we're actually going to solder this on. Sorry for the background noise again. I had so I'm just going to solder the battery on here now. So this is one of the holders, and the black wire is the negative and the red wire is the positive. So what I'm going to try doing now is trying to insert it into the hole. Don't take that literally. Let's see if we can try to heat this up. I don't know if it's working. I don't know if it's working. I might have to add some solder to it. I don't even know if it'll go through the hole because it might be a bit too thick. If I can just barely connect it, then I can just maybe add a bit of solder on top.
And I have the official giveaway picture.
Yeah, it's definitely not or it's probably just not clear. I just have to clear out that hole in a second. Yeah. I'm gonna do that in just a moment with some solder wick. I hope it works. Probably won't. And I'll just let this sit for a moment, see if you can just suck it up. I'm gonna also watch some of Greg's stream. Maybe you guys can watch it a bit too. So he's just basically doing a MacBook giveaway, and I entered it. I'm probably not gonna win it. And also a bunch of people who were previously watching my stream are now watching it. As you can see, like basically 40 viewers, which is a bit sad for me, but I mean, he's doing pretty good, which is all that really matters, I guess. So, I mean, not everything's about me. So, anyway, yeah, so he's now doing it. He's entering a YouTube video URL into something, and I'm not really getting anywhere with this thing now. So, yeah, I need a proper way to actually clean this iron. which is very, it's irritatingly not clean. It seems to be wrecking the sponge that it came with as well. Yeah. Alrighty, so this hole hasn't really gotten anywhere. Yeah, I think I might actually just add some solder on the top of it, which might not be a good idea. Or I might just turn it around and try doing it from the bottom. Ugh. What do I have? I had a Mac. Yeah. Are you interested in buying a Next? That's a good question, actually. I thought about buying a Next, but the problem is that they're just so expensive. It's a lot like a Macintosh portable and just a bunch of my other dream computers. They're just too expensive. So I guess if I do find one for cheap, then I definitely won't pass on it. So yeah, I'll see if the opportunity pops up, and I definitely won't miss it. So yeah, I don't really like what Apple has done with their modern laptops. So USB-C instead of USB 3.0. I agree. The USB problem is really bad. So they should. I feel like they should just try to fix it instead of doing an actual thing. So
and the winner is Trains of Britain. They are such beautiful systems. Still look great today.
Cool. I didn't win. Epic. I'm gonna leave the stream now. So unfortunately, I didn't win the stream, and the TAM is very expensive, but yeah, the TAM is also another system I'd really want to get my hands on, but unfortunately, they're also really expensive. So again, if I do find a cheap one, I'll definitely not pass up on the opportunity. So yeah. But it is so beautiful. Agree. I have seen a TAM in person. I was able to try it out, and I did make a video on it, but it wasn't my TAM. But I'd really love to own one because they're very cool and historic systems, and they're definitely nothing to mess around with. They're more like a museum piece, to be honest, because of how rare they are. Plus, there is no DVD drive. Not that big of a deal, but inconvenient for watching DVD movies. I mean, to be honest, Apple that's not really a new concept for any manufacturer anyway, removing the DVD drive, because nobody really uses them anymore. I mean, even I don't use them that much anymore, but it is kind of an inconvenience to have to get an external one. It would be just a nice necessity to have built in already. But yeah, that's a bit unfortunate in my opinion, and yours too. So yeah, I mean, this Dell I have as well. I mean, despite how thick it is, it doesn't actually have a DVD drive either. The main reason it's so thick is it's a workstation, so it's a pretty big system, but very powerful as well. And I might use it for video editing in the future if I ever get around to that. I'm hoping that my full Mac 2 restoration video will come out soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that. The next MacBook won't have any ports, lol. Oh man, that's gonna hurt. If they do actually not have any ports, that'll just make the whole thing useless. I mean, if you have to like wirelessly charge it, it'll just be really weird. But I mean, I've heard the next iPhone might not have any ports, and they might just make it fully wireless charging. Which, I mean, I could maybe. I mean, isn't that bad? But I mean, as long as the wireless charger acts like as a cable. But then also there's things like, what if you're trying to hold it and charge it at the same time, or some other things like that? That might be very difficult. So that's kind of annoying. So okay, so this whole thing isn't really working. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put some solder on the top of the hole, and then I'll just solder the wire onto that glue. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Make a little glue like that. That is perfect. Do that to all 4 of them. All right. And then I'll just solder the wires on top of them. That's working pretty good so far, actually. And I'm no means a professional solderer. This is my first actual kit. Oh, hello, Steve. You finally came. Well, that's pretty nice. I guess you didn't really want to stick around with the Q&A that Greg had. I mean, I already know enough about his channel and stuff. But do you like Windows systems like Windows 3.1? I actually haven't had the time or systems to try older Windows versions like that. I do want to try that at some point. Honestly, if they do remove the charging port, then I'll completely ditch Apple. I mean, that seems fair enough. I can ask Greg any question I want anytime. Yeah, fair enough. I could probably do the same too if he responded to my DMs, but he doesn't. So yeah. Anyway, at the moment, Steve, I'm just soldering wires onto these PRAM battery holders, and then I'm going to solder them onto the thing. I was about to get to that, but then this wire just disconnected itself, so I'm going to have to keep trying to put it on, which is really annoying. So I'm back. Oh, that's great, Duke. Nice to see you back again. I guess everybody's just gotten bored of Greg's stream, which probably won't go on for too much longer, and then he'll join my stream too, because he'll get bored as well. Just trying to. I wish I was an octopus. This would be so much easier. I mean, having multiple arms would be so convenient, especially in cases like this, because you really need multiple hands for doing jobs like these. Oh, I think I'm almost there. Damn it. Ah, damn it. Oh God, it's not cooling down in enough time. I currently have an Apple Pippin, but the power supply blew, and I'm waiting for a new one. Oh, that's pretty unfortunate. Sometimes if the power supply blows, if it's like something simple that you can replace, you don't actually have to replace the whole power supply, rather just the component that blew. But in some cases, if it is an important component that's hard to trace down, then it is a good idea to just get a new one in general, because like some other components could have blown as well. Sweet Pippin. Yes, Pippins are pretty nice. I don't have a Pippin. It would be cool to have one. It's pretty neat. I'm not sure how good the games are. They're definitely it's definitely not Super Smash Bros. Or anything interesting like that. Come on. This is annoying. I think I'm going to turn the temperature down. And, yeah, I keep the old PSU just in case. Yeah, I always keep even broken old Mac parts. Like if I have a broken floppy drive or a broken main board or anything that's like Mac related that's broken, I always tend to keep it just in case there's ever a way to fix it, or if there is a way to fix it, I'm just too lazy to fix it at the moment. I've never really had an excuse to ever throw anything away. Damn it. This is really getting on my nerves. I think I'll just try the other side then. Yeah. There we go. That worked. What temp do you have on it? I have it at 293, I believe. Yeah, that's what it says, 293. I'll put this up here so you can take a look at the temperature for yourself. If you guys want, you can suggest temperatures to put this at. I'm not an expert, but I believe there are certain temperature requirements. But so far, I haven't really had anything. 300 may be too low. Oh, really? Okay, I guess I'll just crank it way up then. I'll put it at like 400 then, maybe 350 or so. I'll put it at 350. Why not? I usually do around 350 to 400. Have you got a G4 Cube? Yeah, it's funny you say that. I really do kind of want a G4 Cube. And my dad actually used to have a G4 Cube that he bought new, because my dad's the type of person who likes to buy weird products that companies come out with. Like he owned a Windows phone. He used to be a huge Apple fanatic until he went to Surface, because Surface sort of had the sort of things he was looking for. So that's unfortunate. But he used to have a G4 Cube. He also had an MMD, which is the mirror drive door Power Mac G4. And unfortunately, he donated them to like a charity or something, which I guess is good, but it's not like they'll be using it anymore nowadays, which is unfortunate for me. But I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. OMG, I used to have a Windows phone, but I gave it away because there were no apps on it. Yeah, the Windows phone was okay. I mean, the specs were good. The browser, I mean, the physical thing was okay. The OS build wasn't bad. It was the only problem was that no app developer wanted to put any apps on it or anything, which is the main reason why it failed, and people hated it for that. And my dad used it as long as it was out until it was killed by Microsoft themselves, which was unfortunate to him. So he just moved to a Pixel, which is even worse. It was really cool looking operating system though. Yeah, I really liked the live tiles and stuff. It was really nice. I liked that sort of aspect. I mean, if Apple made like live tiles for their iOS as well, that would be pretty cool, and I definitely support that. I mean, I'm an Apple user myself. I can't stand Android. It's just weird. So I never use Android. I mean, Apple phones are. I mean, I use a 7 Plus, which is across the room or something. I don't know where it is, but it's a nice phone. It's kind of old, but I like it. It's really, yeah, Windows 8, pretty bad. Kill me. My dad used to use Windows 8. I used to use Windows 8 when I was in elementary school. So yeah, it was pretty bad. This isn't sticking, so I think I don't really mind Android. I mean, if it was a life or death situation, I'd probably just get used to Android. But at the moment, I really like Apple. I really like iOS over Android or basically anything at the moment. So I'm gonna stick with it for now. I mean, I have heard from longtime Apple users that have just decided they want to break out of the Apple thing, which I could see if they wanted to like try something new, but I'm not really that type of person unless Apple's like shutting down or something and I'd have to do it. So yeah. But yeah, there it is. This is it. This is as good as it's gonna get. This is the monstrosity. Are you using Flux? No, I'm not using Flux. I'm an idiot probably, but have you got an Apple II? No, I do not have an Apple II. At the moment, I currently only have Mac stuff and a couple PC things, but newer PC things, and a few game consoles. iOS is easier to use and stuff, but in my opinion, Android is more functional. I mean, fair enough. I mean, you could do a lot more jailbreaking and stuff like that in Android. The camera wasn't that good on it. High megapixel count doesn't matter. And I agree. You should invest in some Flux. Yeah, I should. I mean, I don't think I need Flux for like this kind of thing. I mean, at the moment, I'm doing fine. So maybe in the future, if I do really need Flux, I'll probably get it. Yeah. Anyway, we are getting somewhere now. We got the first thing in, and it just looks so stupid, just dangling there. Flux is always important no matter what. All right, I'll look into it, Steve, after the stream, but thanks for letting me know. I can't stop laughing. It's just so stupid. Just like a bobblehead or something. I hope this isn't, like, hurting the performance or anything. Oh, man. What am I doing with my life? Moving on. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna actually just have to twist this wire a bit. $10 to $15 will get you a tube of it. That's pretty decent, bit much, I would say, but that seems fair enough. I mean, I've never bought Flux before, and I've never really thought of investing in it. So as I said before, I'll look into it afterwards. God. One of the only things I didn't mess up while fixing Epic. You didn't mess up your iBook. I mean, I used to really mess up things. Like back in the day when I was really bad at everything, I used to mess up things hard. Like I used to strip screws all the time. I used to never get anything right, and I was really stupid and uneducated, and I never knew how to do anything. But nowadays I'm doing this, which is functional, I would think, but it probably works, but it's probably the worst I've ever done. I mean, it's not the worst I've ever done, probably the dumbest I've ever done. But yep, there it is. That's probably the best thing I've ever done. So I think I'm actually gonna. Oh, that's wrong. I think I'm actually gonna turn off my soldering station for now, and just take this all in. It seems to look. It looks like it's gonna work fine. So I think what I'm actually gonna do is I'm actually gonna try and putting it back together. Slow clap. Yep, did it this time. I took Steve's suggestion to use wires instead of paper clips. The only reason I wanted to use paper clips is that they're less bendable, like this thing. And I also regret not making it shorter. So the Frankenstein's Macintosh. Yep, that's pretty much it. Except it's not really that much. It's not really that many different parts put together. It's just dumb looking. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do now quickly is just clean this battery. It's got a bit of tape residue from when I connected those wires to it. And I'm not sure if it'll hurt performance or anything. I just want to rather be safe than sorry. Yeah, those wires are too long. I might actually cut them down later if they are too long and they're interfering with something. But I just, at the moment, it's kind of funny. My dream Apple product is a Macintosh TV upgraded to modern components. Actually, speaking of Macintosh TVs, I actually do have a Mac TV. You can't really see it, but it's behind my monitors over there. You can see it, and it works okay. It's a bit of a mess. A lot of the metal parts on the inside are very oxidized, and it has certain components that don't work, and it's not very good. But I would never want to make a Macintosh put modern components in a Mac TV because a Macintosh TV is so rare and collectible that it would be kind of destroying history to have to put modern components and stuff in it. And that's my opinion anyway, but your opinion could differ. But I think a lot of people might get a bit angry at you if you did that. I'm going to quickly get my rubbing alcohol across the room. So I hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. We seem to have 4 viewers, which is probably the most we're going to get tonight. Oh, good point. Yeah, that is a good point. They only made 10,000 of them ever. Well, they only sold 10,000, I believe. Or made it. I don't know, but they only made 10,000 for 4 months. So I have a Macintosh. I have a rare Macintosh too. The Power Macintosh 5500. If it's the black one, I envy you because I've been trying to hunt down a black one for a very long time. And the black 5500 is epic. I love it. If I had one, I would probably favor it over the Macintosh TV. And unfortunately, they don't actually sell those in the US. A lot like the Macintosh TV was only a US product. They only sold the Macintosh TV in the US and the 5500 in Australia and Europe. So it's very unfortunate for me, but also good for me because I have the Mac TV, you have the 5500. I guess it's fair, but I don't know. I have differing opinions on them, but I like them both the way they are. But anyway, I'm just going to put these batteries in now. And that fit. And now they're dipping, which isn't good. I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but oh well. What can I do? That's not going to work. Ugh. I love the black because it's from France. Yeah, I have the black because it's from France. And that's pretty cool. They have the 5500s in pretty much the entirety of Europe. I might be moving to Europe at some point. There's a chance I might be moving to Europe, and there's a chance I might not. But if I do, then I think the first thing I'm going to buy is a 5500, and then I'll have both of the black systems. I just really like the idea of the same style of an Apple product, but actually usable. That seems okay. The old Apple product. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept, and it's definitely an eye catcher, like a laptop if you were bringing it in public. But in my opinion, they're just too collectible, and it just seems like it'd be a waste, honestly. So I don't know. And then people have differing opinions about it, but it really depends on how you look at it. I might try to do that one day if I find like a broken, like beyond repair system or something. Why are those wires so long? Yeah, Jay, I don't know. I'm just kind of dumb. You know what? Honestly, I think I might actually just trim them down right now. Lol, Jay is here. Yeah, Jay's here to start roasting my my Wi-Fi soldering iron, which I threw away or something. I don't know, but this is the new one, the Rolls Royce. So you don't have to worry about that anymore, at least. Yeah, I think I might actually just cut these wires down, honestly. So I might just do that right now. I got my 5500 for only 60 euros with keyboard and mouse, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty good actually. $60 is very good. Power Macs like that in the United States go for way too much. They go for like $300, which is very irritating for people like me. And I never have enough money to buy anything like that. And for me, it just seems stupid. to buy something for that much, especially an old Mac. So I don't have one at the moment. Speaking of Black Power Macintosh, I'm jealous of my friend. He got one. Oh, seriously? Oh man, that's also pretty unfortunate for you, at least. You guys are probably Europe based, so yeah. But anyway, I'm just gonna cut these off now. Yeah, rip stilts. The Rolls Royce, because it has some dials on it. Well, I mean, here, let me go get the other one quickly. It's like on the floor somewhere. But I mean, if you compare it to like what I used to have, which is just like basically just plugging in this thing into this. Like if you have this thing, I mean, compared to this thing, I mean, this thing is like a Rolls Royce. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's got the hot air station. It's got it's got a holder. This thing, you just have to like dangle off the side of your desk while it's heating up, which takes like forever. This heats up in like 2 seconds. This thing heats up in like 2 hours. That's a huge difference. So we can just get this thing out of here. It's garbage. That landed on something. Dinner is ready. Good luck. Thank you, Jay, for popping in for a short period of time. I shall continue with my superior soldering set. Oh, it isn't even on. So, yeah, we shall continue. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to unsolder these wires. I don't want to burn myself, so I'm going to use these tweezers just to take them off. It also looks cooler. So, oh, yeah, it still has to heat up. I have to wait a moment. But look how fast it heats up, though. It's very nice. Once again, you guys can ask questions and I'll respond to them. We can have a conversation, do whatever. I have all night. It's a weekend, so I can stay up as long as I please. It's very nice. All right, wires out. And that, oh God, that's like still some more. Oh, never mind. Are you doing anything else besides batteries today? Well, Steve, I do actually, if this thing actually works, I plan on messing around with it. I have a floppy emu over here, a floppy emulator, which is this thing from Big Mess of Wires. I already made a video on this, but I want to mess around with it a bit more. So we might do that on stream if there's enough time and I finish this in time. And I definitely will finish it now that I'm all set up. So yeah, looking forward to that, I assume. I'm just going to quickly take these off. I don't want to waste any time. So this is like Bruce's world's fastest recap, only world's most unexperienced recap. I mean, I'm not unexperienced. I mean, I know what I'm doing. It's just that I've never really done it before. So that's the only issue with this. But all right. So what I have to do now, I guess, is just I have to strip these wires here because I kind of cut them. So just quickly do that. I also don't want to pull the wires off accidentally because the solder might not be strong enough. So I'm trying to be extra careful when taking this off. What do you think about iPods? Do you think they are collectible yet or just junk? Well, honestly, I mean, I kind of grew up with iPods, so they don't really seem that collectible to me. But I do have a couple iPods, and they are definitely collectible, like the really old ones. And I'm not really too much into iPods. For me, it's just computers and just mobile devices in general. I've never really struck interesting to me. Have never really been an interest of mine. But I might get into it as the years come and the more requests I get to do iPod stuff. So yeah, if you guys want, I can do some more iPod stuff. If you voyage in France and you want a 5500, go to the IE Bond coin. I bought mine. It was there actually one for 70 with box. Wow, that's pretty cool. I got to run for dinner. Tweet me if you have a crisis. Mac84 TV lol. All right, I will, Steve. Have a good dinner. Kind of did this at a bad time. I mean, I've already eaten dinner. I eat dinner at like 7, so and I ate mine very early today. I don't know why. I was just very hungry, so yeah, I hope they come back though. This will probably be a long stream. And this is just the boring stuff. So, all right, that's been stripped. Just gonna quickly strip this part and this one, and yeah, that's done. I eat dinner at 5. I ate dinner today at 5. Usually I eat dinner at like 7:30. I started the stream at 7:30. and unfortunately, it was pretty bad. It's pretty bad for other people's schedules, but so that's annoying. We do have 4 viewers still, but I mean, that's not that bad. I mean, the chat's pretty active, which makes me feel better about myself. Lunchtime where I am is actually 2:30, and I'm in France, lol. Yeah, the time zone difference are pretty dramatic, like in France and stuff. I believe it's a 6-hour difference, and that seems pretty accurate. At the moment, it's 8:30 here, so the stream's already about an hour long, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm just gonna start by putting this on this thing. Putting the thing on the thing. Oh, almost burnt myself there. That was close. Mr. Dog is in Australia. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I know a couple people from Australia. There's a lot of Mac collecting over there, I heard. So that's pretty cool. Bruce from Mac Yak, he's from Australia too, and he has a whole recapping business and stuff where he recaps old Macs, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you can go check him out. He's at I don't know his last. I think it's called Bruce Branches, his creations or something. But he has a pretty cool channel. I'll link it in Discord or something later. If you guys are interested, or just search up Mac Yak and you'll find him there. Oof, damn it. Almost done with this. Damn it. And yeah. Oh, this isn't done. Needs a bit more coverage. Chat seems to be active. I modded my Wii U controller, work with my iPad today. That's pretty neat. It doesn't really work that well. I mean, I have a couple interesting things. I don't really do consoles that much either, but I do have a couple consoles. I have an original Wii. I don't have a Wii U yet. Do you think the Power Macintosh G3 beige is rare? I would say no. Here in America, they're not that rare, but for some reason they're kind of expensive. They go for like $100 to $150, which is a bit much for me, and I really want one because of how nice they are to upgrade. They're not rare, definitely not, but they are pretty difficult. A G3 is hard to find where I live. Yeah, I could imagine. Australia is not very populated, and at the moment there's a bit of wildfires, I heard, so that might make just a bit more difficult. So yeah, that's also kind of unfortunate for Australia. It's a very nice country. A lot of deserts and dingoes or whatever Australians have. So I've never been to Australia either. It'd be pretty cool to go to. It's kind of across the world where I am. Pretty neat. But yeah, these batteries seem to be finished. They're not as level as they were before, but it's definitely better than it was before. They're a lot lower, so it probably won't interfere with that much. Lots of G4s and G5s. I could imagine. That's kind of where I live too. I live in America, so eBay has a lot more things. So I buy most of my collection off of eBay. But in my local area, there's never anything good for sale, which is kind of unfortunate for me. I meant original Wi-Fi controller. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway. So I'm going to put the batteries in, and if nobody complains about how I did this anymore, I'll probably put this board back in the computer and we'll try testing it. So yeah, not really going in. There we go. Yeah. So all right, I have a question for the chat. What is your favorite 68K Mac? If you don't know, a 68K Mac is like one of the older Mac computers that use Motorola processors. Like it could be an older PowerBook, one of the compact Macs. It could be like a Mac LC or something. The Mac 2 is a 68K Mac. It might be one of my favorites. Let me know in the comments which one you guys like, and I'll be sure to highlight your response as I put this battery back in, and yeah, that's done. Put the tops back on. Where's the other top? Not good. Probably somewhere. Oh, there it is. Macintosh 128K. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. That's one of the original ones. iBook G3 clamshell. That's not a 68K Mac. A 68K Mac is an older one, usually beige. The G3s are actually PowerPC Macs, which use PowerPC processors. It uses the PowerPC G3 processor. I only have PowerPC and Intel. That's interesting. Clamshell is a PowerPC machine. Yeah, thanks, Duke. When you say oh, yeah, that seems to be good. Perfect. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do now is since now this seems to be finished, I'm going to put the board back into the computer case, which is over to the right over here. And then Macintosh SE. That one's a pretty good one, too. That's one of the best compact Macs, in my opinion, or the SE30. 2CX is good, too. Yeah, 2CX is pretty good. My 68K collection is depressing, lol. Yeah, I agree, Duke. You really have to get some more 68K Macs. I'm kind of good with 68K Macs at the moment. I should get a bit more compact. So I used to have more. I just kind of sold them because I got bored of them. But anyway, we're just gonna insert this back into back into the main thing. And I won't really be able to see the chat from here, but I hope that is. But I'll probably just be able to answer your questions and whatever and whatnot when I get back over there. Just push this in. Yep, that seems to be good. Just plug everything in on the inside. Plug that in. I kind of just want to test out the computer before putting any other components in. It should work as is, but I just want to test and see if it'll actually work in the state that it's in with the batteries already in. And if it doesn't work, then we'll be here for another hour, which is going to be fun. I'm just going to quickly move a few things out of the way so I can put the Mac in front of the monitor that I have over here. I hope that soldering iron still isn't hot because it might burn something. But yeah, I don't even have a monitor card installed in this thing yet. I might as well just put the video card in right now. What's your favorite older 1980s or 1990s Windows or Mac from the 1990s? Windows or Mac OS? I think I definitely have to say Mac OS because I haven't actually had the opportunity or chance to try out older Windows operating systems, and I might want to at some point. I know they're very good for gaming. I don't really do old Mac games that much because it depends on what games they are. Like I'm a really big fan of SimCity 2000 on the PowerPC Macs and stuff. I think my favorite is the computer is the Macintosh 2 is because it's so big. Yeah, this thing is pretty big. I can actually get a measuring tape right now to show you how big it is. It is quite the hefty boy, which is one of the reasons why I got it, because it's very big. It has around 6 NuBus card slots. Yeah, it's about 19 inches. This is America, so we use inches. I think there's centimeters at the bottom or something. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh well. Oh no, that isn't. Yeah, I have no idea what that is in centimeters. You can do the math. Yeah, it is big. I held a 2FX that I left the recycling center. That's unfortunate. The 2FX is actually one of the rarest ones of these, and the 2FX is actually one of the most expensive Apple computers ever made. Besides the Mac Pro, I assume, but that thing was probably one of the most expensive. That used to be one of the most expensive Apple computers Apple ever sold, which is very cool to think about. Definitely something collectible to have, but I can see why you wouldn't have enough space. I mean, when I'm done with this project, I'm not even sure where I'm supposed to put this. I'm probably just going to leave it on the floor or something. So, yeah, but anyway, I'm just going to put that in. All right, now for the moment of truth. We have the whole thing plugged in and everything. My soldering iron's still cooling down, but I think just pressing the power button on the back should just turn it on. and then this green light over here where the power supply is should turn on. So yeah, let's see if it works. And it works! Oh, it bonged! It bonged! It works! We succeeded! Oh yes! It bonged! Epic! It works! It probably won't boot into anything because there's no hard drive or anything, so it'll just probably stay like this, but it works! The PRAM batteries work perfectly. That is awesome. And now Duke's just questioning his sanity because he had no idea that this would work. So, epic. And now everybody in the chat is also happy. This is probably one of my first ever successful live repairs, which is pretty nice. Power Macintosh G4 Cube and 20th anniversary Mac were probably the most expensive at launch. Yeah, I agree. I'm questioning life. Yeah, good thing. Yeah, good thing you are, Duke. Yeah, well, the 2FX was actually like $9,000 or $10,000 at launch, which is very expensive compared to the Cube and the 20th anniversary Mac. So, pretty interesting to think about. And what was your first Macintosh? Oh, that's a good question. One of my first Macs, it wasn't exactly a Macintosh. One of my first Macs was a PowerBook G3 Snow. I think a teacher gave it to me or something because he knew I had an interest in older computers. And one of my first old compact Macs was a Macintosh Classic, which I actually still have. It's at the bottom over here. It's in that box over there. It came in the original box unexpectedly, and it's a pretty neat system. Anyway, so now that this computer is guaranteed to work, I just turned it on. Now that this thing actually works, we're actually going to. Before I was into computers, I was into robotics, like Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz Pizza. That's pretty interesting. My first was the 2SI. That's a cool thing. That's a cool system to start off with. But anyway, so now that we've fixed the Mac 2, I'm going to start putting the components in it, and then we're actually going to try using it. I mean, I've already used it a bit, but now that it's working, it'll be a lot easier because I won't have to jump start it every time I have to restart it or anything. So yeah, we're putting in the hard drive. So the hard drive's being put in, floppy drive's being put in. Oh, I got a 2SI, very boring to me. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of just a thicker version of the Macintosh LC, which is, I mean, it's not the most interesting computer that Apple's ever made, but I mean, it's better than a Performa at least. Performas are boring as hell, so I mean, at least there's that. So I'm just gonna put this on here quickly because kind of now need to do this at an angle, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna try quickly. I can't even use it, lol. I got a Performa 400. That's pretty interesting. I'm not really sure what model that is. I used to have a Performa 600, which is basically a Macintosh 2 VX, which was one of the last Mac 2s Apple ever made. And it was really unfortunate because I paid a lot of money for it, and I was really excited to get it because I really wanted a computer like that. And this was kind of a while ago. But then when I got it, the PRAM batteries had leaked all over the board, and the seller advertised it as working. So I was very disappointed, and I ended up returning it. So he probably recycled it or something when I got my money back. Just kind of sad. I mean, the monitor and the keyboard and stuff probably worked, but he didn't let me keep them, unfortunately. So I have to send it back. But anyway, yeah. So we're just gonna almost done plugging in everything, so we can turn it on again. I'm also going to plug in the floppy emu or floppy emulator. I actually have two 20th anniversary Macintoshes. You have two TAMs? Okay, how rich are you? That's a good question, Duke. That is crazy. How do you have two? One is upgraded and one is original. I mean, that seems kind of overkill. I mean, a TAM is like, I mean, the TAM is the type of computer that you only have one of. I mean, that seems too crazy to me. Like, unless you got them like a lot or something. They were at a yard sale for cheap. I mean, that's fair enough, I guess. But still, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy price. But I mean, not a crazy price, just a crazy thing to think about. But anyway, booting it up again, we have the floppy emu up and running. And what this basically is, it's basically an emulator. Oh, you can hear the hard drive going now. Oh, that thing's loud. All the background noises you're hearing is this big boy. But yeah, as I was saying before, this thing is basically called a floppy emulator. It's basically this thing you plug into older Apple computers. You can use Apple IIs, Lisas, or Macs, which is what I primarily use it for. And what you can do is you can load software onto it. It's basically like a floppy disk drive, and it has an SD card slot, so you can put more software on it. It's pretty interesting. I made a whole video on it. You can go check it out. I got 2CI and 2CX, what is the difference? I think the 2CI is actually newer than the 2CX, so it has more power. It's got slightly revised parts and stuff. And actually, that's a good question. And then, yeah. So anyway, we're actually gonna try using this thing. I actually have to get a keyboard and mouse quickly. Or actually, you know what I might do? I think I might just quickly turn this off. Oh yeah, that's the hard drive when you turn it off. So I think what I actually might do is I have to use the keyboard and mouse somehow, and there isn't enough desk space. So I think I might do is just put the top case back on. I think I might just put the top case back on, and then have the wire for the floppy emu going through it, and then it should work fine. So I'm just gonna quickly figure this out. Oh, what the cable doesn't go through? God damn it! Have to go through the expansion cell on the back, I guess. So just run that through there. You only have one disk drive? No, actually, I actually have two disk drives. I'm not a peasant, and I actually have two disk drives that came with this computer. This is the other disk drive. This disk drive works fine. Well, I mean, both these disk drives work, and there's another one that goes here. So I have two. It came with two, but this disk drive has an issue with the eject mechanism, but otherwise it works fine. I just have one inside at the moment because I don't need the other one, and also I have to use the floppy emulator with it somehow. The Macintosh 2 have two disk drives. Yes, it does have two disk drives. Floppy drive. Yeah, two floppy drives. One here and one here, and it supports it. There's two floppy connectors on the inside, which is how I can connect the floppy drive and the floppy emulator at the same time, which is very useful and very epic. So you can copy discs and do all this other crazy stuff, which is pretty neat, but kind of unnecessary, which is why modern computers don't have, more modern Macs don't have it, but also pretty awesome too. Anyway, I'm gonna smack this a bit, and yeah, there it is. So this should work fine now, I guess. We can just put that over there. And we get the keyboard and mouse. I love all Macintosh with two floppy drives. Yeah, I agree. Those are pretty cool. Anyway, so all right, so we got this old 2GS keyboard here. I got this came with one of my old computers. I don't have a 2GS. It just came with one of the ones computers I already have. So, but I like it the most because it feels really nice to use. So we're going to be using that one. So anyway, let's power this up again. And I guess now for like the remainder of the stream, I think we're just going to play around with this for a bit and take a look at what's on the floppy emulator. Because this thing actually comes with a bunch of software and stuff, which makes it pretty fun to use. So, yeah, we're just going to have some fun with this then for a moment. Your 2GS keyboard isn't as yellow as mine. Hey, well, I actually did do a retro bright on this, which is why it looks very nice. I retro brighted this top part, a few keys. I tried doing the spacebar, but didn't do too well. Why don't you use your portrait display? Well, the thing is that the portrait display doesn't work with this computer because the portrait display, requires a weird resolution that this computer doesn't support. Well, my video cards don't. Well, my new bus cards don't support the weird resolution of the portrait display. If it did, I would use it. But the only computer that works with the portrait display is my Duo Dock because it outputs at a higher resolution that the portrait display does support. A lot of people think that the Power Macintosh G3 all-in-one, a Molar Mac, is ugly, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it too. It's not the most attractive thing, but I think it's a pretty neat design compared to others. The only problem is that they're really rare. Yeah, Molar Macs are extremely rare for some reason, super expensive when they do pop up. Anyway, let's actually try this thing out. I have already used this before, so there's nothing too new about it. So about this Mac, we can take a look in the About. This is running macOS 7 or System 7. This is Macintosh 2, the original one. Nothing too fancy here. Yeah. So moving on, I do want to change this to color real quick. And for some reason, this is really weirdly configured, so there's only like 2 things in the menu bar. So we're going to have to go to the system folder to adjust everything. I'm also going to adjust the mouse settings stuff, other things that make it more comfortable. Where are the control panels on this? Someone... we can also look at this person's personal files if we really want to, so... where are all the control panels? This is starting to trigger me. The most rare display is the Apple Cinema Display CRT. That one's pretty rare. Well, I mean, not really. There's a lot more rare displays. I mean, Duke has a black. You know those LCD displays that look like iMac G3s that they're pretty rare. Well, they made a black version of that, which is very rare, and he actually has both of those variations, which is pretty cool. So you can ask him about that in the chat if he's willing to tell you about it. He probably is. So yeah, but it's on menu items. It's probably not an extent. No, it's in preferences, isn't it? Oh, my mouth hurts. No, where is it? Ugh. Who deleted all the control panels? So I don't have to search them. I don't know where they are. There's no way you deleted them. Mine's broken lol rip stand. Yeah. Most rare is that LCD display with the Apple II. I'd never heard of that one. Let's see. Mouse. Oh, there it is. That's not what I was looking for. Oh, the 2C LCD display. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The one's like a calculator. Yeah, that one's kind of underrated, but pretty interesting. I wouldn't really say it's a display, more like an accessory. Yeah, this is useless. I regret this now. It just opened up a... Oh, that's pretty neat. Someone made this little clip art. Pretty nice. I was actually just looking for mouse control panels. I'm going to just see if I can try finding the control panel itself. Where is it? Control panels. No, it's off. No. Okay. What do you mean? It's not here. Help me. Who deleted it? This is stupid. What's in Untitled folder? There's nothing in there. This is dumb. Apple Extended Keyboard 2 is the best one ever made. That's debatable. I have a question for you. What Mac computer you see in Jurassic Park 1? Oh, okay. That computer is the Quadra 700. It's a very rare computer, even today. And one of the reasons why is because it's a lot like the Mac 2. It's the same sort of It's the same size as a Macintosh 2 CI or 2CX. but it has a different face. It's made for a portrait orientation. It's a really cool system, and the reason why it's so rare is because Mac collectors like it, and even Jurassic Park fans like it too, which makes it really rare and desirable by many people. And you are very good, thank you. I have watched the movie, and I do remember that from the movie, and I think they used some sort of radius display with it, probably like a 20-inch radius CRT display, which is very common with those systems. But if you can go look on eBay, they're pretty expensive. They're like $100 to $200, and if it's just a complete set with like monitor and everything, they go for like 500. Never watched Jurassic Park. Well, I suggest it. It's a pretty good movie. It's an older movie. It's like Jaws or something. It's like the movie Jaws or Star. I don't know. Is it more of a 2CX on? Is it more a 2CX on the vertical? Yeah, the Quadra 700 is basically a Macintosh 2CX, but it's vertical, and the front of it looks kind of different. It has like a vertical floppy drive. Well, not vertical floppy drive. It has like vertical vents, vertical badge. Jurassic Park is a meme among my friends. Lol, that's pretty funny. What about it is a meme? That's the question. There's no control panels on here? That's annoying. Ugh. Okay, so I think I know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to pull out some install disks and I think I might just wipe the whole hard drive because it's just kind of a mess. So that's irritating. Alrighty, so we have a new objective. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna reinstall the OS. I have some system disks. I think these are from an old PowerBook or something, and I also have system disks from a Macintosh LC. I guarantee one of these sets of system disks will work. I'm not sure which one, but I'm hoping that one of them will. I'm going to try the one from the LC because that's a desktop unit, so it'll probably work better. It's a meme because one of my old friends looked like a dinosaur, and then we memed. That's funny. You just memed a kid because he looked like one. Have you got a Quadra 900? No, I do not have a Quadra 900. That's one system that I really would love to have, a Quadra 900. They're very cool. Or a 950. They're basically the same thing, but I really want a Quadra 900 one day. But for now, I don't have a Quadra 900, which is kind of unfortunate. But one day I hope to have one. They're basically like really large tower things. Yeah. Anyway, so this is one of the discs that I have from the LC. This is the first disc, so we're gonna see what happens when we put this in. It might not work because it might just be computer-specific discs. Terry McLeod, screw you. Okay, that's not good. Oh, I see why this won't work. Crap. I just realized this won't work because this computer has an 800K drive, and this is a 1.2, 1.4 megabyte disk, so it won't work. For some reason, they made these 800K, probably because this is like made in 1987. It's really, really, really irritating. I love the little key Quadra 900s have. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The key on the Quadra is probably one of the coolest features that it has. But anyway, now I have to probably install Mac OS 6 on this or something. So I have some Mac OS 6 installed, System 6 install disks over here. I have 4. These are the disks we're going to be using. We're going to have to, unfortunately, install OS 6 on this. We have the utilities, printing tools, system tools, utilities, all the other crap. I'm gonna check on my phone quickly to see if it actually does support OS System 6. I'm hoping it does, but if it doesn't, then we're kind of in trouble. Because then I won't have a real proper way to install anything on this. It should work. It says System 3, which seems unlikely, but I'm hoping it works. It probably won't, but we'll try it out anyway. These are 800K disks, I believe, so they should work fine. So we're gonna start off with probably System Tools. So plop that in there. What's the Max OS? The Max OS for this is crap. It doesn't work. The Max OS for the Macintosh 2 is 7.5. And I have 7.5 installed disks, but they don't work because this is an 800K system, which is ass. So, crap. I don't know why it isn't working. Oh, you know what? I'm stupid. We should just use this thing. That's dumb. Oh, now it works. Okay. Okay, lovely. It must be dusty, so I'm going to probably clean up the drives later. I hope this works. We'll have to see, though. I'm not sure what we're going to do in the meantime. I might just show you guys my collection while we do the install. Current start disk. Okay, we're going to have to boot off the system disk. Otherwise, it won't work. So we'll just restart this. I'm going to just erase the hard drive, I guess. So yeah, it's booting off the drive. I don't hear the hard drive going, and I hear the drive going. So you're just gonna. Do you have any Apple printers or cameras? I do have an Apple printer. I have an ImageWriter 2 that I can show you guys right now briefly. I have an ImageWriter 2 right here. I bought it because I wanted to try out an old Apple printer, and they're actually a lot of fun. It still works. So you can actually print stuff from like a Macintosh Plus and stuff. Well, I usually print it with the Macintosh SE. I might try it with the Macintosh 2 if I ever get to it. But yeah, it's a very interesting printer. And there's a lot more printers that you can get. I really want a laser writer of some kind because those are pretty cool too. And it also came with the original box. This box down here is the original ImageWriter box. It's very neat indeed. So yeah. Do you have any Apple printer? Yeah, this is the same question from before. I'm just reading it again. But yeah. Now let's retry this installation. I have a laser writer. That's pretty cool. I really want a laser writer 2 because that's the laser writer that goes with this computer, and it looks really cool because it has the same design. I have an ImageWriter 2. Yeah, same one I have. They're really neat. But yeah, let's actually try installing this now. It'll probably work, or it probably won't. But we'll try it out. Yeah, old Apple printers are a lot of fun. Some people say that they're boring and they're kind of dumb and nobody really cares about them. But in my opinion, they're just fun to screw around with. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to install this on the Mac XT hard disk drive. There's probably nothing on there. Oh, no, wait, I want to try. Oh, I need to format it. I just realized. I have to format it first, otherwise it won't work. So we'll do that in a moment quickly. There's a mod where you can use it with newer Apple products. That's pretty interesting. I haven't tried that out. I have tried to use my other Apple printer, which is a Color Style Writer 2500, with one of my iBook G3s, because the iBook G3 has printer drivers for that printer because the original discs that came with that printer don't actually work properly, which is really annoying. So I really want to try and get that printer working at some point. So yeah. Or you know what? I think to just save time, we might just drag and drop the system folder. If it has the oh no, it doesn't. Yeah, let's just do an install then, I guess. I prefer buy Macs than printers. I mean, me too. But if there's but I do have an interest in printers, so sometimes I'll get printers as well. But it just depends for me. Let me get my glass of water quickly. It's just across the room. So far, we've been pretty successful with the stream. Ugh. All right. Okay. We're gonna install this. What's in customize? Let's see. Okay, I guess Oh well, I guess we'll just do it like this. So we'll just install it. All right. So uh, hmm, yeah, we'll just continue. Yep, continue. And yeah, that should start going, I think. Yep, it's going very slowly, probably erasing everything. Yeah, I think the Apple Click 200 looks cool. I haven't actually invested in any. I don't care. Just. Ugh. I haven't actually invested in any. Did that even work? Come on. So I haven't actually invested in any old. Shut up. I haven't actually invested in any old Apple cameras yet, since I haven't really had an interest in them, or any of the CD players or anything. But I might do that at some point. Fall. Could you try to install Tetris on it? I will definitely install Tetris on it when I'm done. It'll let me install anything on it. I like old Apple accessories. Yeah, they're pretty good, especially the keyboards and stuff, and the monitors are pretty neat too. Cannot overwrite protected resources on that, so this won't work. There's some stupid garbage somewhere on this disk, so it won't work. Oh, this is annoying. I think I'm gonna try erasing it somehow. I'm gonna try one of these utilities disks. They probably have a. Some other stuff on there. So yeah. Oh damn it. Yeah. So what I'm gonna try doing now is just trying to eject. I'm gonna try looking on the utilities disk to see if they have the control panels I'm looking for. Not sure if they do. But I'll see. Oh god, now it's gonna do this. You know what? I'm just gonna power it off. I don't feel like dealing with this. Come on. I think honestly I'd rather just boot it off with the utilities disks instead, because it's just going to keep giving me the disk swap thing, unless I put the other floppy drive in, which I don't really feel like doing right now. So yeah, and also this drive is a bit wonky. It's sort of hindered because I can't really put it in. So I'll have to fix that later. Oh god, now the whole thing doesn't even work. Damn it! Do I have to take off the case now? I'm gonna turn it on quickly. So I can... Come on, eject, eject, eject. Don't boot off the hard drive, please. Can you eject, please? Damn it. No. Alright, there we go. That worked. Should boot off the utilities disk now. Yep, it's booting. Yeah, autocorrect does suck in certain circumstances, but I prefer to keep it on because, because my grammar isn't the best, but it's good enough. If I can't do this install, I'll probably just end stream here. It's been kind of a long time. It's been almost like an hour. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. So if this install fails, I will probably finish the stream here. So we'll just take a quick look. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. The hard drive setup, the disk first aid. That's good. Yes. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're just going to erase this now. Is there a post-stream chat? Yeah, there's a post-stream. Ugh. Yeah, there is a post-stream chat on my Discord server. I'm trying to install 10. I'm trying to install 6.0.8, and I'm failing. So honestly, I think I'm just gonna finish the stream now. I don't think this is gonna work. I'll do an install sensation in another stream, maybe tomorrow or something. I don't know. I have no idea, but we did get a lot done in the stream. We got the batteries soldered in, and we did get it working, and we attempted to install something. So, Discord, you say? Yes, I have a Discord server. Invite link is in the description. So if you want to join in, we like to talk about Mac stuff. There's occasional drama about things. Check the description. Yeah, check it. It can be a bit of a mess, but it can also be pretty fun sometimes. But yeah, so you can join at your own risk. I suggest joining, and if you hate it, just leave. So yeah. Anyway, I actually think that the stream is going to end here. But thank you all for joining in this week for this stream. I might do another stream tomorrow on the install, but I had a lot of fun tonight, and we did actually get something done, thankfully. So yeah, good night, David. Good night, everyone else who joined in. Thank you to everyone who did actually tune in, and I hope to see you soon. Yes, the stream will end now, so I hope to see you all maybe tomorrow in another stream. But yeah, that'll do it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next stream. So, yep, that'll end it. So, goodbye. Oh, wait. End stream's over here.